Greetings! Nicole emailed me and asked for an Autoharp consultation. Ta! Instead of sending her an email back, I thought I would just do a video that I could share for other people who want to know something more about the Autoharp. So let's go on to number one. I'd like to buy an Autoharp, and I think 21 key chromatic. Will I be okay with a midline Oscar Schmidt with fine tuners, or should I save up longer and buy something nicer? Well, first off, I should point out I do not have fine tuners. I've never used fine tuners, so I couldn't counsel one way or the next. My problem has always been that my strings break easy because I play really hard, and because of that, it's a lot more difficult to changing strings with fine tuners as far as I know. I do prefer the 21 key chromatic, though I started with the 15 and it worked great for learning more about how to play the Autoharp. I don't usually recommend that someone who's new to the Autoharp get a $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 instrument. Until you know whether this is something you want to do, you should stick with something simple. An Oscar Schmidt 21 chord is great. Number two, which books do I start with? How do I find Autoharp music? And how does the music differ from other sheet music? Alright, so first off, I have a website, autoharpmusic.com. And this website is where I share all my tips on the Autoharp. So you'll find tips for buying Autoharps, accessories, music, CDs that you like to hear, songbooks, etc. A whole bunch of resources there. Go to autoharpmusic.com. There I also list the top 5 Autoharp books, which includes the Autoharp Owner's Manual. That's great for fixing your Autoharp, making sure it runs, because you're lucky if you can find a luthier near you. It also has Celtic Autoharp by Karen Mueller. And I started with Mel Bay's Complete Autoharp Songbook by Meg Peterson. That one's a little bit out of date as far as it's different from how techniques that are taught today, like in Karen Mueller's book. So the early Autoharp tab, basically you'd have a thumb, strum on the Autoharp. It would show you how to do that. You get a boom, a low, mid, or mid high, or whatever, and then you picking fingers. It was very poor. Along comes Karen Mueller and others, and they created an Autoharp tab so that you can pick out melodies with the Autoharp. Now, if you have any sheet music that has chords, more than likely you can play them, but with limitations, because the Autoharp basically will have 21 chords. There are some specific Autoharp books out there, so I would suggest just look through that resource, and you can also look online. Another great place to go to is autoharp.org, where there is the Cyberpluckers mailing list, and Pete Daigle runs the Autoharp Quarterly, which is a magazine that comes out every quarter. Number 3, what are these Billy Bob setup and Joey Joe's finger picks? I simply need to know which picks to buy for starters and which other ones might be good to try. Oi! There's a lot of personal choices in some of this, and you kind of have to figure it out on your own, and that comes from trial and error. What I might suggest is visit Pete Daigle's store and see what he offers. Then pick a selection of picks and try them out. As for me, I have 5 picks that I use. Most of them are Dunlop. You got a white medium, a multicolored large that fit on my fingers. Again, sizes you'll have to figure out on your own. I do use this, have used this Dunlop metal. Usually the middle one is a metal that gives me an opportunity to have more of a brighter sound for if I want to do leads playing on the Autoharp. But there's also a Pro pick that I just started using as well, and I couldn't find one immediately, but it stays on the finger a little bit better. And finally, I have the Golden Gate thumb pick, which is my preferred thumb pick. It's kind of heavy, and I like that. It allows me to get that little bit of a thunk when I'm playing. Again, picks are very personal, so you might prefer a more flexible pick than what I have. Number 4, do I need a strap for the Autoharp from the beginning? I have to make sure I use good posture, thanks to the lady who rear-ended me years ago, so I'm not sure if I should start with or without a strap. Now, I'm going to assume that you're wearing the Autoharp like I do, because there are 2 different methods. You can wear it like this, or you can set it in your lap and play it like this. Your choice. I prefer this. It gives me a flexibility. I can walk around and move, which is kind of awesome. I would recommend getting a a strap. There are two basic types of straps. The simplest is the guitar strap. It's same thing that I wear, but it's not great for your posture. There's also a strap that is supposed to be better for your back, and it crisscrosses across the back. And I had one of these straps, and I just didn't work for me. Also because I like to take off an Autoharp and put one on more frequently, because I'd swap between Autoharps during shows. So that didn't work as well for me, but it probably would work great for you. So I'd probably recommend that. Number 5, given all that, what is a reasonable range for me to expect to spend? So again, if you're just starting out and you're unsure if you're going to be playing the Autoharp much after this, then I would keep it simple. You could get a good Autoharp for between $200 and $300. And that's straight through Amazon. If you are certain that you're going to be playing this for a long time and you love the instrument, I would go into the $300 to $600 range. And that's probably where you can expect a nice instrument, a nice sounding instrument that's got a lot of quality. Again, talk to Pete Daigle. He will guide you on the best Autoharp for that you might want to do. Or I do have a list at autoharpmusic.com, but he can help you with all that. Number 6. I live in Wisconsin and it gets dry in the winter. What do I need to know to keep an Autoharp properly humidified? That's a really good question. I've lived all over from Texas to New Orleans, and yes, the humidity does affect the sound of the Autoharp among a number of features. So what I would say is probably it won't do much if it's in that environment most of the time, or if you're in a humidified house most of the time. It's really not going to be too bad for you. When I was living in Texas, I lived in Austin, and then I'd go to the Texas Renaissance Festival in Houston. Very different dryness levels. In Austin, it got pretty dry, not El Paso dry, but pretty dry. Whereas Houston, we had one year playing at the Renaissance Festival that we dubbed a Venice Fair, because it rained so much that, you know, you could pretty much sing out there. You know, it was beautiful, but very humid. I broke 21 strings in a weekend. But that's usually not the case. I haven't had this problem pretty much since then. In any case, I hope that helps answer your question. And if you have a question, post it down in the comments below. I would love to do more videos like this and help you figure out what kind of Autoharp you want to play. Sláinte.